Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Passive Money Plan. Like we said, we're doing the 2025. We're going to react to the things that you send us. We got this video, and for everybody that want reactions to videos that you see in the internet space, please send them to the email link that's below on the screen. Um, just trying to give an understanding, let people understand what's going on. I know these videos go pretty fast, and it's a lot of information that's being stored in these, 30-second, 1 minute videos. And just here to break it down, to collaborate with Alex to uh, give people more insight of what breaking down what they actually really mean in this instance. But Alex got the next video coming up. What you got?
All right, guys, this one is when do you leave your five or your nine to five? I said that backwards. When do you leave your nine to five? Check out this video.
When do you know it's time to leave your 9 to 5?
Great question. So you get the 9 to 5. I like to side hustle 5 to 9. And if you want to really hustle, get up at 5 and then hustle 5 to 9. So as soon as I say that, you're like, well, when am I supposed to have fun? This sounds like no fun. I'm just going to be successful and be bored. I don't know if you see the cars I get to drive around. There's a lot of fun. It does require you to delay some stuff. And it's better for you to keep the job, to pay the bills, to side hustle. Once you get your expenses kind of covered, 70% on the way, then by all means, cut it.
All right, Kirby. So before you go start explaining yourself, so this is interesting because it seems like between you and me, I'm always more interested in just like getting rid of the job, just because I honestly hate the concept of working at a job.
Hmm.
Um, and I have to say, I think the only reason why I probably haven't tried to leave sooner is because you keep saying don't leave money on the table. Just if it's not taking time away from what you're doing, and trust me, I'm there trying to find out and say, see right there, it's taking time away from me. But I'm trying to make excuses. I really hate working at a job. And especially now it's like I got to a point where it's like I'm making more than I need. And I'm like, shit, like now it feels like you said, feels like work is optional. And it's a different feeling. It really is. Like you don't have that concern of work going wrong, of company layoffs, of you getting fired or whatever. But this video is interesting because I'm curious to see what you have to say. Because you're one, and this is so like I think backwards in the entrepreneurship community. You're like the only one that does not say leave your job. So I'm curious, what do you have to say on this video?
Hold up. I don't think he was saying that either. He's saying, I mean, he's just asking a point blank question. He got put on the spot and he said, if your side hustle is making 70% of your expenses, then go ahead and leave. My question would be, what about the other 30%? I'm hoping if it was more to the video, he said, well, you need to cut those expenses out your life. But me, me, I'm a 3x guy. I mean, if your side hustle is making 3x more than what you're doing, you can leave if you want to. But if it's easy, then why do it? If it's not interfering with what you're doing, then why do it? Like especially in the real estate space. I mean, as you know, when you trying to go get loans, if you're not doing non-QM, I mean, if you're not doing non-QM loans and you're trying to do conventional loans and stuff like that, they're going to make it harder for you because you don't answer to nobody. You don't have a job. That's the first thing. Oh, you don't got no job. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's look at these financials. What's going on? You know what I mean? It makes it harder. So if you can go, you got a 40-hour work week, it's little to nothing to you, it's not interfering with your time, and you can leverage that 9 to 5 to get more loans or whatever, to get more properties, or use it to get an SBA loan, to get a business, then use the leverage to get that done. Because when you go full entrepreneur, then you got to be ready to let it be known, like, hey, this is where my income at. So of course they're gonna still count your expenses, but now where's your access to pay for this loan? See what I'm saying? So that's why I'm always three extra expenses, because you still gonna have to prove that income. They're not gonna just say, oh, he's an entrepreneur. Hey, here's a check or a bill. So that's why I say 3x. And again, the reason why I always say work optional, I mean, if you want to quit, go ahead and quit once you hit the 3x. But just understand, if you want to keep growing, or you just want to say, oh, I'm cool right here and then it's all I want, then okay, you can leave. But the reason why I say at 3x, because of course property taxes is going to increase, insurance is going to increase, the cost of living is going to increase. anyway over the years. So you got to have that gap to keep pushing up your top line revenue and in your profit, your bottom line profit on whatever you do in the entrepreneurial space or the side hustle space to keep covering that cost. That's why the 70% number that he said, again, lack of length of the video is probably, he probably went more into that, saying, hey, well, you got to cut expenses, understand that your cost of living will increase just over time, just the nature of the beast of just being living, that you understand that you have to keep growing the business no matter what, because that's the true reality of it. So that's why I'm always 3x expenses is where it's at, because it give you that gap, that funding, and it lets you deal with the lender aspect of it, and it also helps you fill that gap of the cost of living expenses as it grows, because you need that gap, especially with the cost of living keep increasing. So that's my view on it.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with what you said. I just think it's funny because, like, Kirby, you're at like 50x your expenses and you still got a job. Like, I just look at them like, gosh, when is he gonna leave? But I mean, it makes sense what you're saying. I mean, I think that's one thing a lot of people forget is, especially if you're in that like real estate space or you have a business and you need debt, banks are gonna scrutinize what your income is. And I've seen it with certain business owners that are just looking to buy a house to live in. It's a lot harder the process that they go through to close on a house, getting a loan from the bank than it is if you just have a job. Like I think banks prefer you to have a day job. But yeah, I mean, this was an interesting video. I mean, we've done some similar to this one, but just wanted to see what your point was on this. When you sent it to me, I was like, oh, this would be interesting to hear Kirby's point on this. But I
Yeah,
agree too on that
and
70%. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, go ahead, finish the statement.
No, just on that 70%, I don't think that's enough. Like, you have to make, I mean, 70%, you're not even covering your expenses, I mean, that's going to put you in a tight spot. So, unless he was going to say, like you said, cut out the other 30% and then using that 70% go full force onto your side hustle and push it past making it, multiples, multiple X's of what you need to cover your expenses.
Yeah, I knew a guy, speaking of, lending and stuff like that. I knew a guy during the COVID era, certified nine figures net worth, certified, no question about it. And then, of course, he had a big estate, and then he just wanted to take cash out to do whatever the hell he wanted to do. And the bank gave him the hardest time with taking cash out because he don't have a steady stream of income, i.e., a job, or i.e., just revenue flowing in, that they wouldn't give him the funds that he wanted to take out of a property that he owned. And that's why I went to 3x expenses, just to if you want to quit your job, because that you're going to have to show them, hey, this is the money, this is a steady stream of income. Most of his income is tied up in equities and tied up in private businesses, tied up in things like that, or tied up in investments like that. But his net worth is his net worth. But if they don't see the money just flowing in on a regular consistent basis, then they do not respect it as income. So that's why I always say 3x. When you're making 3x your expenses, that's when you can make work optional. Before that, then you shouldn't. Me, I'm not. I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that be like, yeah, yeah, you don't need no job. Forget the 9 to 5. It's all good. I mean, I have different elements of it. Of course, I always believe that you can. Your kids are not listening to what you tell them to do. They're only watching what you're doing. So my son is 10 years old now. His mom retired 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when he was like 7, 8. So I don't want him to believe that, even though he don't understand the complexity of everything else we're doing around, he don't understand the business side, he don't understand the real estate side, he don't understand none of that. But I don't want him to get the illusion that, oh, I seen Dad just sit around the house all day, so I'm gonna sit around the house all day. So when it comes to why don't you just say forget it? Because I want to make sure it's ingrained in him. Hey, Dad got up every day and went to work. Now, of course, my work is right here in my office in the house, but I'm not going out to a job every day. But I want that ingrained in him because I don't want him to just think like, oh well, yeah, mom, dad, they just sit around the house. Well, let me just sit around the house and hope money comes. No, that's not how money comes. So that's another thing is because I know my kid is watching me. Even though he act like dad's not cool no more, he's old, he's out of touch. The only thing he knows is rotary dials, telephone. I know that's what he's saying, but I know he's watching. So that's why I don't want him just to have the illusion. I could go sit on the couch, wake up at 10 o'clock, watch TV, watch the soap operas, watch Prices Right, and then be like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. No, you got to get your ass out there and make it happen. No matter how much money you scheme your mom out of after I'm dead and gone, you still gonna have to go out there and make it happen. So that's the reason why I do it. Now I don't know how much longer I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to show them what work look like a different way. But that's really my mindset around it. And why I'm not just punch the clock and be like, forget this, I'm out of here. Adios.
Yeah. And that's crucial too. I think they got to see something. They got to have that visual aspect to it. With that said, guys, if you have any questions or comments, let us know down below. Again, don't forget to send us any content to that link down below. Don't forget to like this video, guys, share, subscribe, please. And we will see you guys on the next one.